Good morning, everyone. How are you? So, I was cooking breakfast this morning, and this thought occurred to me that, and I'm trying not to be a dick about this. I don't know how to explain this to people, and I don't understand the issue or where this push is coming from for cancel culture. So, even though no one's watching right now, I'm still going to talk, and if people join in, great. So, in the recent years, we're not going to say months, in the recent years, we have started this cancel, like get rid of it. It's not, it's not official. It's not, not appropriate. So we're attacking cartoons. We're attacking toys. We're attacking, hell, anything that seems remotely offensive and vulgar, we're attacking it. And I say attacking because that's what we do. We attack. So my concern is that why the hell are we attacking toys? Mr. So it's improper to use Mr. Now, Mr. Potato Head. So when you join the military or you address a man, are you just supposed to say, hey, you? Or are you supposed to say sir, which some say sir is short for sire, as in king? So what are we supposed to be doing to address people? Then we have the Dr. Seuss book thing, where Dr. Seuss is clearly the enemy. And we're sitting here trying to make sense of stupidity. Now, a lot of people aren't going to sit there and agree with what I'm about to say or why I'm about to say it. And that's okay with me. I'm pretty sure that I don't care because I have something that a lot of us in a certain generation and certain people, I'm not going to say certain generation, certain people. I'm just going to say that I think cancel culture has something driving it way past this generation of kids. So you can't blame the kids. The kids aren't the CEOs of these companies. The kids aren't the people pushing for this, because if you've noticed this as a generation, they're watching and creating some of the most raunchiest, I ain't gonna say the most because we had raunchy stuff. The only difference was we actually had a little bit of coof with it. Megan Thee Stallion and what's another chick? All the rest of them popping coochie won't something that was on the mainstream radio all the time, all day, and the kids couldn't hear it until it was late at night. And I've talked about that before. But what I'm really trying to understand is how we're allowing it to happen as a population. So I guess what it seems like is there's an attack against being a man or being a woman. So there's a gender war going on where no one or a specific group of people don't want you to be able to address yourself as a man or a woman. You're just there. So my thought process is this. I don't know how many of you have ever heard of Mein Kampf, right? It's a book written by Adolf Hitler during his time in captivity after the first World War. No, after the First World War, during his first failed coup attempt in Germany. Do you realize that Dr. Seuss, his book, is boycotted? Mr. Potato Head can't be called Mr. Potato Head, and she can't be called Mrs. Potato Head. It's tongue twister. But you can go out to fucking Barnes & Noble and buy Mein Kampf. A book clearly about socialism and clearly talks about stuff that happened in World War II. So I'm trying to understand the validity in any of the decisions that we make and the things that we do when cancel culture is bullshit. You see, what you're doing is you're telling me what I can like, what I cannot like, what I'm supposed to like, what I'm supposed to do. And that, my friends, is communism and socialism and control. See, the ability to take away my right to like something is control. And I'm going to tell you as American citizens, it's our fault because we should not support companies that do it. John Wayne, he used the N-word. Okay, so if we're going to get rid of everyone that uses the N-word, that means every rap song that has it has to come off there. If we're going to do this, let's just do it across the board. And let's forget about the time and place. So if you're going to sit there and use this as an example, then there's nothing you can say to me that can be canceled. We're all going to be neutral. No one's going to be able to have an opinion. No one's going to be able to say ma'am or sir or she or him or anything that has a gender attachment to it, because this is what this is. It's an attack on gender. They want you to be neutral. If you want to be neutral and you want to be called something, then by God, put that on your goddamn birth certificate. I'm neutral. But don't force me and don't force other people that are growing up, because whether you realize it or not, there are people that have what they call free will. God gave it to you at birth. Try it sometimes. It gives you the fucking ability to make a decision on your own without other people influencing you with it. So a lot of people are girly. They're manly. And some people just, I'm here. But that's their God-given right. And that's their goddamn choice. So if they want to have their kids play with something that says Mr. Potato Head, then parents should be allowed to do it. If they want a toy that has a Barbie on it, and clearly Barbie's a girl, then the parents should be allowed to do it. It's their household. So we as a culture, as people, need to tell everyone to kiss my ass and your ass and let me raise my children on their own. If I want my kid to read a Dr. Seuss book that I found that was interesting as a kid, or the Berenstain Bear family that had a mom, dad, mother, and son, mom, dad, brother, and sister in it, then that's what I should be able to do. We are allowing people and organizations to dictate how we raise our families. And everybody's family is different. I don't care if it's a gay family, a homosexual family, a heterosexual family, two moms, two dads, however you portray it, to a mom and a dad. Whatever you want to go with, that's your right and that's your family. But still, do not dictate to me or limit my ability to educate my child via books, via comics, via anything about history, family, and life, if that's what I choose to. Now, no one's saying that I should be allowed to go out here and print anti-Semitic propaganda, even though, heaven forbid, they did that to blacks for years. And see, this is where it's a problem, because the stuff that you're attacking now, the only reason you're attacking what you're attacking is because that's all your ass can really control. You can't come after anything else. You're not going after the real issues. You're not going after domestic violence. You're not canceling culture on that. The fact that you're saying that Pepe Le Pew promoted rape culture, has anyone in this God's green earth watched what happened when Pepe Le Pew would be overly affectionate and try to force himself on a female? First of all, number one, in a couple episodes, if I'm not mistaken, it wasn't a female, it was a dude. That's number one. Number two, he brought her flowers and candy and tried to woo her. That's number two. Number three, he sat there and when he wouldn't stop, she beat the shit out of him, which taught young ladies, guess what? If a man puts his hands on you, rock his ass. And y'all saying that promotes rape culture. I don't see it. You know what promotes rape culture? Pornography. You know what promotes rape culture? People who aren't taught no means no, and it's called family and upbringing. At some point, you lazy bastards are going to have to sit there and own the fact that you suck as parents and that your mom should have gargled instead of sitting there and having you procreate. So stop blaming people because you suck, or stop blaming people because you have a lack of ability to sit there and make an honest decision without someone influencing you. Your ability to be a human being and have emotion has been removed. And so you don't have a life. So you want to inflict your stupidity upon others. The fact of the matter is that we made our children, politicians, grow up way too fast. They used to have times when cartoons would come on at 6 o'clock in the morning and stay until 12. Now, because cartoons are not educational, if you go back to the 90s, That's why they disappeared. So you wanted our children to grow up fast. In fact, the fact that we let them watch as much TikTok as they do and all these challenges that all these little kids can see, because TikTok is not, unless I'm mistaken, TikTok is not age restricted. They just see people shaking their ass and showing their breasts and getting 400,000 and a million likes. How come you haven't attacked that culture? You see the difference between doing something that makes a difference and just barking to try to just ruin the homogeneous family, and that doesn't have to be man and woman. I'm going to put that out there for you guys to sit there and say that Ryan's homophobic. I'm not. But what I am saying is stop the bullshit. Stop voting for politicians that sit there and allow this shit to happen, and stop supporting companies that co-sign on this shit. You think that in 10 years from now, these kids are going to remember why? Oh, I got a potato head. A what? Who is Pepe Le what? The cartoon is irrelevant. The cartoon hasn't been published except, I think, Space Jam and some other Bugs Bunny remake where he wasn't doing any of that. So what you're trying to do is say, no one should see that because I've been raped, and that's what caused it. Pepe Le Pew caused you to be raped? If anyone who's ever been raped is saying that. You see what I'm getting at? And I'm not downgrading rape. I'm just saying that there are people out here who take things way to the extreme. And they want to attack things just because they don't like them and because they're different. And anyone who's been a minority, anyone who's been fat, anyone who's been just different knows what that's like. We don't need a constant reminder of the realities of life because a lot of us who grew up understand that everyone doesn't like your face. And you don't like everyone else's face either. And so you learn to get along and you learn to deal and you learn to stay the fuck out of other people's business unless it is a danger to you, themselves, or others. And that's when I think it's appropriate to step in. Like somebody walking around town with an AR-15 fully loaded taking shots at people. I would say that's a little bit of an abuse of his Second Amendment right. He needs to go. Same difference if someone was walking around teaching anti-Semitism to people. I just don't understand you guys and why we're not standing together. And it's not everyone. Like I don't see people coming online talking about this is horrible. I just don't. And I want you to share this video, like and love it. It's going to be posted on YouTube. Put your thoughts in here. Maybe I'm the old bastard who's stupid, whose hair and left with his common sense, and I just don't understand it. And like I said, I think we should always do stuff to educate our kids. But what you're not getting, you morons, is that the educational system is what taught these kids right and wrong besides their families. And our education system sucks right now. That is no shot at any teacher because their hands are tied. They are. And they're trying to do the best they can with a bunch of people who are sitting there trying to make decisions for the entire population. This is going to be a video I'm going to talk about the states and what states really are and how we as a country are getting swallowed up into some bullshit that we weren't designed to be swallowed up in. Everyone lives where they live because they like certain things, and certain states do certain things in certain ways, certain cultures. But right now, across America, there's an attack on being a man. There's an attack on being a female. There's an attack on being families. And if you don't believe me, look at what's being presented. Look at what's being taken away and look at how people are vocalizing what's happening. Because I don't give a damn what you say. I don't support boys being able to play girl sports. It's a disadvantage, and they've proven it. And it takes away from women and men who work hard at their craft when someone clearly has a chemical advantage that they should not have in a sport. Think about it. Like and love and share it. Hit the subscribe button. Deuces.